In this video, we're going to talk about the 5 big changes that happen to women once they reach 80. These are changes that affect your body, your mind, and your everyday life, and they're things that almost no one warns you about. I'm Lady Karen, and here on Insightful Senior, I share honest, practical advice for women like you who want to live healthier, safer, and more confident lives as they grow older. As we age, these 5 changes are bound to show up. Some of them are physical, some are emotional, and one of them, the last one I'll share with you, might just surprise you. But here's the good news: when you know what to expect, you can face these changes with confidence instead of fear. You don't have to be caught off guard. Before we start, I'd love to know, where are you watching from today? Just drop your state or city in the comments below. It helps us feel like one community here, learning together and supporting one another. 1. Physical energy decline. As we cross into our 80s, one of the first changes you'll notice is a decline in your physical energy. Even if you're in good health, you'll find that fatigue sets in faster than it used to. Activities that you once did with ease now take up more of your time and energy. For example, maybe you used to handle all the housework in a morning, but now it feels like you need to rest halfway through. Or perhaps that walk around the block that used to leave you feeling refreshed now feels like a marathon, leaving you ready to collapse in your favorite chair. Now, it's important to understand, this isn't a sign of weakness. It's simply biology. As we age, our bodies don't recover the way they once did. The muscles weaken, the joints ache a little more, and the energy tank seems to drain quicker. You might feel frustrated by this, wondering why you can't keep up the same pace as before. But here's the truth: it's not about being lazy, it's about how your body is naturally changing. If you find that standing at the stove for too long tires you out, or that your usual routine feels like more of a chore, don't be hard on yourself. It's okay. In fact, it's a normal part of the aging process. Your body is telling you to slow down, take breaks, and prioritize rest. This doesn't mean you've lost your vitality or that you're losing your independence. It just means that you need to adjust your pace and listen to what your body is telling you. So, if you find yourself more tired than usual, take it easy. Pace yourself. Take breaks. Don't push through exhaustion. It's okay to rest and recharge. And remember, it's perfectly natural. You're not alone in this. Most women feel it. The key is learning how to manage it, so you can stay as active as possible without overdoing it. 2. Memory and cognitive shifts. As you age, another noticeable change is in your memory and cognitive function. Now, I'm not talking about serious conditions like dementia, but more of the everyday forgetfulness that starts to show up more often. Maybe you put down your glasses and can't remember where you left them. Or you walk into the kitchen and forget why you went there in the first place. Names that once came to you instantly now take a little longer to surface. These little moments of forgetfulness can be frustrating and sometimes even a little embarrassing. You may wonder, is something wrong with me? But the truth is, these are normal parts of aging. Your brain, like the rest of your body, changes over time. Memory and cognition may slow down, and that's completely okay. It's a natural part of the aging process. You're not losing your sharpness, your brain is just taking a little longer to process things. The good news is, this kind of forgetfulness doesn't mean you're heading down a path of serious memory loss or cognitive decline. Instead of worrying, try to embrace it. We all forget things from time to time, and that's perfectly normal. The key is not to get frustrated with yourself or feel embarrassed. It happens to everyone. And, there are simple ways to help keep your memory sharp. Write things down. Keep a to-do list or use a calendar to remind yourself of appointments. When you take small steps like this, it takes the pressure off your mind and makes it easier to stay organized. So, don't be hard on yourself if you forget something, it's all part of the aging process. With a little planning and some memory tricks, you can keep moving forward and keep doing the things you love without feeling overwhelmed. 3. Shrinking social circles. One of the toughest changes many women over 80 face is the shrinking of their social circles. As time passes, friends you've known for years may pass away, or they may move into assisted living facilities, and family members become busy with their own lives. Your children, grandchildren, and even the neighbors you've always had close ties with can be hard to reach. And suddenly, you might find yourself spending more time alone. The phone calls become fewer, the visits even less frequent, and before you know it, you're living in a quieter, emptier space than you're used to. This change can feel incredibly lonely and even a little overwhelming. After a lifetime of having people around, of sharing memories, laughter, and even the tough moments with others, being alone more often can take a real emotional toll. It can leave you wondering, why doesn't anyone have time for me anymore? It's completely understandable to feel this way, but it's important to realize that this shift is not a reflection of how loved you are. It's simply a part of aging that many of us experience. The emotional impact of this shrinking social circle is real, but the good news is that you can still make an effort to stay connected, even if it's in smaller ways. Reach out to a friend, even if it's just for a quick phone call or a short visit. If you can, try to connect with other seniors in your community or local support groups. Being social doesn't mean you have to see everyone every day, but keeping those connections alive, no matter how small, can make a world of difference. So, if you're feeling the loss of friends or family members, don't hesitate to take the first step in reaching out. You might be surprised by how much those small moments of connection can brighten your day, and there's 4. Increased vulnerability. As we grow older, one of the more difficult truths we face is increased vulnerability, both physically and emotionally. Physically, we become more prone to accidents and falls. A slip on a wet floor or a trip over a rug can lead to broken bones or serious injuries that take longer to heal. Your immune system may also become weaker, meaning that something as simple as a cold could leave you feeling much worse than it did when you were younger. These physical vulnerabilities can make you feel more fragile, and understandably so. But vulnerability doesn't stop there. Emotionally, older women are often targeted by scammers who prey on our trusting nature. They look for women who may be a little slower to hang up the phone or respond to a doorbell, and sadly, many times, they succeed. It's an unfortunate reality that we become more susceptible to these kinds of tricks as we age. Whether it's a phone scam, a fraudulent email, or even someone taking advantage of your good nature, the risks are real, and it's important to stay alert. This increased vulnerability can be scary. It may feel like the world is changing around you, and not always in ways that feel safe or familiar. But the key is awareness. You can protect yourself physically by taking steps to reduce the risk of falls, things like using night lights, removing clutter from the floor, or installing grab bars in the bathroom can make a huge difference. And when it comes to emotional vulnerability, trust your instincts. If something doesn't feel right, whether it's a phone call, a letter, or even a conversation, don't be afraid to hang up or walk away. Protecting yourself means being proactive, staying cautious, and never feeling like you're a burden for asking for help. 5. Shift in identity. One of the hardest changes women over 80 experience is a shift in identity. You might begin to feel like you've become invisible, like society no longer sees you the way it once did. You walk into a store, and the clerk looks right past you, not even acknowledging your presence. You go to a doctor's office, and they address your daughter instead of you, as if your voice no longer matters. In a world that constantly values youth and vitality, it can sometimes feel like you've been forgotten. This feeling of invisibility can be particularly painful because it's not just about how others treat you, it's about how you begin to feel about yourself. You've lived through decades of experiences, learned countless lessons, and carried with you a wealth of wisdom. But when the world seems to overlook you, it can lead to feelings of frustration, loneliness, and even loss of purpose. But here's the truth, just because society may overlook you doesn't mean your worth has disappeared. You are still the same person you've always been, full of life, wisdom, and value. It's just that sometimes, the world forgets to remind you of that. So, it's important to remind yourself. You are still important. Your story still matters. And the knowledge and experience you've gained throughout your life is invaluable. Remember that your identity doesn't have to be tied to how others see you. You are more than the number of candles on your birthday cake. Stay true to who you are, seek out moments of connection, and never let the world's view of you define your worth. You still have so much to offer, and it's time to celebrate and embrace the incredible person you've become. 6. Changes in health and mobility. Another unavoidable change that many women over 80 face is a shift in health and mobility. Even if you've been active all your life, you may find that your body doesn't move the way it used to. Whether it's aching joints, stiffness, or simply feeling slower than you once did, your body's ability to move freely and without pain becomes more challenging. Everyday tasks, like climbing stairs or bending down to pick something up, can feel harder and sometimes even painful. This shift in mobility can be frustrating and disheartening. You might feel like you've lost your independence or like you're no longer able to do things you once enjoyed. But here's the truth, it's not about giving up or resigning yourself to discomfort. It's about adapting. Finding new ways to stay active within your limits can make a huge difference. Simple things like stretching, doing light exercises, or even just walking around the house regularly can help keep your body moving. Sometimes, mobility issues can also affect your mental health. If you've had to adjust the way you do things or cut back on the activities you love, it can lead to feelings of frustration, isolation, or sadness. But there's hope. Many women in their 80s continue to find joy in movement, whether it's through gentle yoga, swimming, or simply taking short walks around the block. And it's important to remember that you're not alone. Many others are going through the same changes, and together, we can find new ways to move with grace, comfort, and dignity. So, don't let mobility challenges define your life. Embrace the adjustments, stay active where you can, and take pride in every step you take, no matter how small. Your body may change, but it doesn't mean it's no longer capable of amazing things. 7. Emotional shifts and finding new purpose. As you age, emotional changes can also become a significant part of your experience. Many women in their 80s find that their emotional landscape shifts in ways they didn't expect. With the loss of loved ones, changes in family dynamics, and fewer social interactions, it's natural to feel a sense of grief, sadness, or even a sense of loss of purpose. You may start to wonder, what's next for me? What do I have left to contribute? These feelings are completely normal, and you're not alone in experiencing them. The truth is, as we get older, it's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that life has passed us by. But here's the encouraging part, it's never too late to find new meaning and purpose in life. Your experiences, your wisdom, and your life's journey are treasures, and they still have value to offer. Whether it's volunteering, sharing your story with others, or simply finding small daily joys that bring you happiness, there are endless opportunities to create new emotional fulfillment. One of the most empowering things you can do is to seek out new ways to engage with the world. Start a new hobby you've always wanted to try, connect with others in your community, or become a mentor to someone younger. The world may be changing, but you still have so much to give, and so much to receive in return. So, if you're feeling emotionally drained or unsure of your purpose, know that it's okay to feel this way. It's all part of the journey. But don't let these feelings take over. You still have so much life left to live, and sometimes, finding new ways to engage with the world can be the key to rediscovering joy, connection, and meaning. So, as we've discussed, aging brings inevitable changes, but these changes don't have to define you or limit your joy. Whether it's physical energy decline, memory shifts, shrinking social circles, increased vulnerability, or emotional adjustments, these are all parts of the natural process of getting older. But each challenge can be met with understanding, preparation, and the right mindset. You have the power to embrace these changes and adapt, finding new ways to stay active, connected, and emotionally fulfilled. Small actions, like pacing yourself, staying socially engaged, protecting your finances, and embracing your own value, can make all the difference. Your experience, wisdom, and the knowledge you've gained over the years are priceless. Never forget that. If there's one thing I want you to take away from today, it's that aging is not about losing control, but about learning how to navigate the changes with confidence and grace. It's about celebrating the years you've lived and the wisdom you continue to carry. Remember, you are not invisible, you are not alone, and you are still incredibly valuable. Your best years are not behind you, they are ahead of you, filled with new opportunities, new experiences, and new joys waiting to be discovered. So, take a moment today to reflect on your journey, embrace the changes that come with age, and step into your future with the strength and confidence that only someone as wise as you can have. Thank you for joining me today. If this video was helpful, don't forget to like, share, and leave a comment below. I'd love to hear your thoughts and your experiences. Stay strong, stay prepared, and keep shining.